one. Blaney on the inside.
He just loses it all on his own. He said no brakes, so obviously he has enough brakes to slow down a little bit, because if you got to the end of the front stretch with zero brake, you would go straight into the barrier, as we've seen drivers unfortunately do over the years. So, but something is amiss with the 5 car of Kyle Larson, whether he has no rear, no front, or maybe the pedal itself is just long. There they are, Blaney, SVG right to the rear bumper, making up as much time as possible. Now it's a battle of pit crews, Marty.
Ryan Blaney said the balance on this car is okay. They'll get 4 Goodyear tires, fill up full of Sunoco fuel. Let's watch the race off of pit road. Will Blaney hang on to it late?
At the Glen race, look at this between William Byron and Kyle Busch.
Wow, that's impressive.
Ty Gibbs has a front row view of this. He says, I might get out of it. I might just try and clear them both. Not quite close enough. And Alex Bowman and Ryan Preece follow him across the line, as Jeff and Steve mentioned, for those much needed points. Restart zone. Chris Buescher in the BuiltSubmarines.com Ford with his RFK teammate on the outside. They lead the field to green. Now here comes Shane Van Gisbergen on the inside, splitting Chase Elliott in the middle of him and Blaney. Down to turn 1. And Blaney does not want to relinquish that spot. There's a slight touch. Blaney's hanging tough, and here comes Briscoe on the outside.
Oh, man! Whoa! There it is. You saw it live. The 21 gets spun around. This might close pit road for the 9. Big contact for the 21. Should be an instant yellow.
Josh Berry.
Over.
And the Freightliner Ford for the Wood brothers.
Here it is right here. They're behind Chase Elliott, who's really slow. A little bit of contact. Ty Dillon gets Berry moving in the wrong direction. Great shot here.
This is Zane Smith. Boom.
Yeah, what's Zane gonna do? You know, there's just nothing you can do in that situation.
Yeah, it's aggressive by Ty Dillon to be pushing on the 21. He knows he's stacked up behind the 9. And then I thought that contact with the Armco was going to be a yellow on its own. NASCAR held the yellow, allowed the 21 to drive array, then it ended up being debris on the racetrack.
That's a big impact.
Yeah.
4 to go here in stage 2 at Watkins Glen, and the man who led the most laps in that stage, 12 of them, Shane Van Gisbergen, coming to pit road. He said the rear tires were much better on this run, but now the clean air made him just a little bit too free. The 88 team had a really nice stop in stage 1. We'll see how this stop goes. Pretty clean, Ken.
Well, let's see what Blaney does. If he pits, then it'll be where he rejoins the racetrack. Now it's a stage win, which is a playoff point. So Blaney might say, you know what, I want to take the playoff point. His car is so good, this is a tough decision. Let's see what he does. Staying on the racetrack. So Blaney is going to stay. I don't know if that'll allow anybody else. Nope, they're all married to this strategy now. So all of these teams are going to stay out and get points. That's a real shot for a lot of guys. I was shocked we'd see this many guys stay on the racetrack.
1 to go in this stage, presented by Credit One Bank.
Look at
and
this.
It is wild. Coming off turn 1, heading to the S's. Look at this madness.
A little bit of smoke. I knew it was from somebody. 42 of Nemechek sent around on the entrance of the carousel. I saw the smoke, but you can't tell if it's like tire lockup or what it is.
First it was Eric Jones, and now his teammate.
It's a bad lap for Legacy Motor Club.
Oh my goodness.
So there is the end of stage 2. And the pole man, Ryan Blaney, will grab maximum points. Ready to go back to racing. The beginning of stage 3. Let's go. The man who led the field to green all the way back at the beginning of the day, Ryan Blaney of Team Penske, has got William Byron all over him. Look at Gibbs on the inside of his JGR teammate. 3 wide into turn 1. Multi-lanes. Ryan Preece goes right around the outside. Meanwhile, back at the front, the 2 guys who started on the front row in this race on 2 different strategies. Ryan Blaney continues to lead the way, but for how much longer?
About 1 corner. Inside SVG.
Much newer tires, right?
That's
Fresher
right.
Tires.
That's right.
And
this
fast.
isn't just, I mean, fresher tires, faster car. The 12 has drove an amazing race. I think this is successful so far of what they tried to do.
Watkins, Glen, Shane Van Gisbergen comes to pit road, and this was the plan all along, to split stage 3. In fact, they kind of clued SVG in on what the rest of the team strategy were. He said, I'm in no hurry to pit. Just tell me when to come to pit road, and 0 complaints about the handling of the car, Dave.
But they will have a tire advantage. We'll see how much ground Brad can make up. Now, Brad and wife Paige are expecting child number 4 back at home. Meanwhile, Joey Hand was on hand this weekend just in case Brad got the call a little bit early. Joey's an expert worldwide road racer hired by Ford Performance back in 2020 to help the development of the next-gen car for Ford. He's here this weekend just in case, but you know who else he's helped? Ryan Blaney, who runs up front, chasing down Van Gisbergen, Buscher, and Byron, trying to make his way to victory lane. Blaney has been one of the best students for Joey Hand. Hand says he is absorbing everything he needs and really applies it on track here. So Joey, a good resource for Ford, and this weekend for Keselowski and for Blaney.
As we had a pass during the break, take a look at this. Chris Buscher, he wants to relive last year and give himself a chance of defending that win and guaranteeing himself a spot in the playoffs. What happened? Heading to the back stretch. Whoa, that is not the place to lose it. That's at about 140 miles an hour. That is wild.
Yeah, just out of the groove, trying to climb the S's. Was there contact?
It was hard to tell looking back. It was definitely uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, but part of me thinks it almost had to be contact to get that far out of line.
It was a heck of a save.
Sure was. Well, it's a dramatically different final lap. 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. And instead of seeing a mirror full of other cars, and especially Chris Buscher, he sees a 10-second gap back to Chris Buscher. Very different a year on.
SVG at this point now can just stay in his rhythm. He was very vocal in Mexico when they tried to slow him down. He said, man, if I slow down, I start missing my marks. Let me just do what I do, be who I am. And I would encourage it. The team has leaned into it, and he deserves all the praise he's getting because now he's come to a track where I feel the NASCAR Cup Series drivers have the biggest advantage. They have laps. It is not as technical. It is more high speed. It has everything that I thought would help the 88, but here he is, the 88. Leading, the 20 making a move, Jeff.
It's still a good battle for second, side by side, into the inner loop.
Nice.
Fell by him. SVG obviously dominant on road courses, but keep your eye on him because he is improving on the ovals. He is becoming a factor on the ovals, not winning speed yet, but competitive speed.
The day started with Marcus Ambrose, a Glen winner, voicing our show open. Marcus Ambrose encouraged Shane Van Gisbergen to do what he's doing now. SVG does it again, but a year on, he gets redemption and wins at Watkins Glen. Terrific effort from Christopher Bell and the 20 team at Joe Gibbs Racing as Bell gets Buscher on the final lap. Chris will finish 3rd.